Learn to root online in the comfort of your own home. Go at your own pace with unlimited access. Visit the RebornArtistStudio.com for more information. West Coast Doll Show, brought to you by Janie Scott, February 28th to March 1st, 2026 at the Doubletree Hotel, Ontario, California. Visit westcoastdollshow.com for more information.
Hi everyone, I'm Lizbeth Devlin from the Reborn Artist Studio.
Hi everyone, this is Janie Scott from the West Coast Doll Show.
And welcome to another edition of Reborn Rap. Miss Janie, how are you?
I'm good. How are you?
Not too shabby, not too shabby. We're recording at night, and I'm not used to recording at night. I'm half asleep, and truth be known, I've got my PJs on.
You don't even know what I'm wearing.
Should we share that? That's it. So what have you been up to, girl?
I have been super busy, and I've been posting a little bit here and there on different platforms, but I've been making decorations for the doll show, and yeah, that mushroom about killed me.
You have all these talents that I don't know about, and then I'll be like, oh, what are you working on? And you'll show me something that you're creating, and it's not like this is the first time you've ever done this. Like, you do this a lot, create these, like they're just incredible looking. They really are.
You know, that it's been years of learning how to create, and that mushroom, it came to me in like a vision in my night, like when I'm laying in bed, my brain just won't stop. And then I was like, oh, I could do that, you know? And then I went out there and within 24 hours it was built. Like, I can't stop. I hyper focus.
Yeah.
So I can't stop once I start. It's, you know, I didn't contact you for a whole day.
I know. I'm still trying. I know. I was messaging her thinking, is she upset with me? Did I do something wrong? Is she dead?
That's not likely to not contact you.
I know. It was crazy. But it's like, once again, I have to ask this question. When does Janie sleep?
I don't.
No, never.
My brain don't stop. It just... Well, you know, there's medication for that, but I just won't take it.
Well, you can sleep when you retire. How's about that, you know?
Yeah. Sleep when I'm dead. What have you been up to?
What have I been up to? You know, just still doing like reborny stuff. I did get a local magazine reached out to me and wanted to do an article on me. It's they do articles on entrepreneurs. Always sounds really funny when I call myself an entrepreneur. I mean, I don't even know if I could spell it, but
big girl entrepreneur.
Yeah, and you know, it's funny because like I'd mentioned once before, Lifetime Television reached out to me as well. That was last year, and they connected with me through my website. So we were talking about this, that we might end up doing an episode on, do I need a website? Don't I need a website? For me, in these two instances, the website has paid off. I do have to have my website for my routing course. My routing course is on my website. And that was really the main target of the website. But it's great. I've been, you know, other people are able to see it. And I don't spend any money on any search engine optimizers or SEOs, SEMs or anything like that. So somehow my website is, you know, is popping up when people are searching for Reborn. So
that's awesome.
Anyway, and as soon as the article comes out, I will share it. If it's not bad, I'll share it. But I didn't have much time, and they asked me for a photo. And I mean, I've gained so much weight, and I went through all my photos, even tried to take some photos of myself. And I'm like, I'm not sending those because it's going out local. So I sent an old picture. Looks okay. Nothing like me, but that's okay.
That's okay. That's okay.
I'm trying to lose some weight so I can look like my old picture.
Good motivation. Good motivation.
Yeah. And anyway, so we had Bobbi did a fantastic video for us, which we're going to show you in a couple of minutes here. We wanted to cover the topic of safe shopping and and safe selling as well. So we're going to watch Bobbi's video with safe shopping, and then Jenny and I are going to come up and talk about safe selling.
Yeah, let's go.
Happy holidays, everyone, and welcome to Table Talk. On this episode, we're going to be talking about safe shopping for the holidays. This is for both reborn and silicone dolls, along with blank kits and supplies. If you're like me, you're probably already on the lookout for that one baby that's going to capture your heart this year. So whether it's a blank kit, a finished baby, a silicone, or a gift for someone else, I want to help you make sure you don't get scammed or taken advantage of as a buyer this year. As most of you know, the industry is overrun with scammers and counterfeits. During your shopping time, you have to be very careful. Please don't get scammed, and please don't contribute to the destruction of this amazing art. Make sure you're shopping from reputable dealers, artists, and websites this year. And please remember to get any information from a trusted source. Do not listen to people on YouTube telling you that there's no such thing as counterfeits, because that is not true. Let's start with identifying reputable sellers. First and foremost, Google will lead you astray. If you Google the term reborn baby or anything similar, usually the first thing that pops up are some of the biggest scam sites out there. So please don't rely on Google for valid or accurate information when it comes to authenticity or the reputation of someone. Also, you need to know the difference between a dealer and a seller that's an artist. There is a big difference. Dealers sell supplies and blank kits, and there are authorized dealers for most doll kits. You just have to make sure it is an authorized dealer and not a place that's stolen the kits and is selling them illegally. If you want to buy a completed baby, that you're going to buy from an actual artist. Web stores do not sell reborn dolls. If you see an online web store selling completed reborns, typically for ridiculously low prices, that is a red flag. Run far and fast. When you do find an artist whose work you love, who's reputable, don't be afraid to ask them for references, suggestions of past customers they could reach out to, and also ask around online if that person truly is reputable. Check the reborn scam sites on Facebook. There's several Facebook pages that will name people who are scammers or sell fakes. Make sure to hop on there, type in their name, and see if their name happens to pop up in there. Remember that pricing says a lot. If a price is too good to be true, it probably is. And you get what you pay for. If you see a really great price, make sure you double check that the kit is authentic, that the artist is reputable. And also remember, reborns typically are going to run you anywhere from $300 to $3,000 for a super high end. And silicone babies are going to run you typically anywhere from $1,000 for a smaller, more miniature silicone or a cuddle baby, all the way up to in the tens of thousands, depending on what you're looking for. But if you're seeing something for an exceptionally low price, that's a big red flag, and you definitely want to do more research on that before you commit to buying it. You can find reborns and silicones on the secondary market for good pricing. But even then, you still have to be very careful, because if a price is too low, it could indicate that it's not an authentic sculpt. It can also be a red flag that the person selling it doesn't actually have it, and they're just trying to get your money. So be very careful. Avoid shopping on any of these sites during the holidays or ever. These pages do not sell authentic reborns. It's either a fake or a scam. Also, don't fall for the new terms that try to disguise counterfeits. Replicas, fakes, counterfeits, it's all the same thing. There is no such thing as a replica reborn. If it's called a replica, it is a counterfeit. It means it's illegally reproduced without the sculptor's permission. Remember, all sculpts are copyrighted under the Berne Convention automatically. Some sculptors go the extra mile to copyright their kits in various countries. However, this does not stop the thieves from getting their hands on a blank vinyl kit and copying it illegally before the sculptor even knows it. Here are some examples of comments and replies to comments that scammers are using today to try to trick you. They offer you free babies. Please join this group to adopt a reborn or a silicone. These are all scams. Do not click on any links that are replies under people's comments or on people's posts. These are just a few I took off of my page to show you, and I get these quite frequently, and I'm sure many of you do too. The reason mine are kind of doled out is I have a setting that automatically hides them, so most of the time they're not seen, but I still do go back and report them and delete them. Here's some general tips for you. Pricing. If it's too cheap, red flag. Comments on posts asking you to buy or offering you free babies like I just showed you. Scams, red flag. Private messages randomly offering you a doll for sale or a really cheap price or trying to give you some sob story. Those are also red flags. Remember, web stores do not sell reborns. There's no such thing as a replica. Fake is fake and fake is illegal. Do not let anyone convince you differently. For payments, do not pay friends and family, Zelle, or any unprotected way. This means that you will not be able to file a dispute if you do not get your product or what you get happens to be a fake or even misrepresented. Don't be afraid to ask friends if something or someone is reputable or authentic. Artist selling platforms like onlyreborns.com and reborns.com are usually safe sites. These are not web stores. These are artist selling platforms. I do not mention eBay, Etsy, or Mercari because all of those sites have been infiltrated quite deeply with a lot of counterfeits. And remember to support the artists who do not participate in piracy and theft and have good reputable businesses. Those are the people you want to shop from and support this holiday season. Quick safety checklist for you. First and foremost, authenticity and a reputable seller. You want to make sure your doll's authentic. If it is, it should have the correct markings from the factory it was made from. That is not always 100% accurate, but it is a good start. Secondly, it should have a COA. Now, not every kit has a COA, but most of them do. Don't be afraid to ask. Also, make sure the person you're buying from is a reputable artist. All of these things together should ensure that you get yourself a nice, authentic, quality baby from an amazing seller. If you're buying blank kits, make sure you're buying from authorized dealers. You can go on typically the producer or sculptor's site for any given kit, and they have a list of their authorized dealers. Now let's look at payment options. You want to ensure you're using safe payment methods this holiday season to protect your purchase. Using trusted platforms like PayPal or even Affirm give you buyer protection. Do not use friends or family or Zelle or anything similar with no buyer protection if you don't actually know the seller. Protect yourself. Make sure if you're on any type of web page, such as Reborns, Only Reborns, an artist website or a dealer website, that you look for security icons. A lot of times those are listed next to the payment methods to show you that that is a trusted payment method and that that seller is registered with that payment method. And lastly, keep documentation of all of your purchases. Make sure you screenshot any confirmation numbers, what you paid. Keep copies of your receipts. That way, if anything does go wrong, you have everything you need to get your money back or file a dispute. Hopefully you don't have to do that and everything goes smoothly. I hope you have an amazing holiday season, no matter how you celebrate it. And I hope all your purchases are safe and amazing. I hope you find the baby of your dreams. Thank you for joining me on this episode. I hope you learned valuable information to help you navigate the shopping season. Happy holidays, everyone, and we'll see you next time on Table Talk.
Really good segment. Bobbi hit a lot of really good points, and there's a lot of really good information, and I hope a lot of people really listen to it and understand it a little better. I think you'll get a more handle on it.
Yeah, and if you're a buyer too, we always have the Bobbi segment, Table Talk, is also linked as its own separate video. So if you want to replay it and don't want to listen to us, you can replay her little segment over and over again to pick up some tips. So speaking about tips, we decided that we'd do a little segment on selling, safe selling at the Christmas period, because this is when all of your scammers are out in full swing. So you got to watch out for those. So first thing we wanted to talk about is payment methods. So, the common payment methods we have, there is peer-to-peer. Peer-to-peer is anything that's like Venmo, Zelle, Cash App, where, it's usually connected to your bank. I do a lot of sales that way. If people trust you, they will shop that way. But just remember, Venmo is owned by PayPal. So if somebody is sending you money from Venmo and they have their Venmo account under goods and services, you are going to have to pay a fee. So Zelle, there's no fee. Cash App, there's no fee. The majority of the time, there's no fee with Venmo, but just make sure that your buyer isn't doing it under goods and services, or if they are doing it under goods and services, that you are making sure that you're getting those fees. Yeah. PayPal, I know a lot of people do not know this, and because I've been called out on it a couple of times, but back in 2022, PayPal decided that if you have a business account, no matter how someone pays you, if they pay you friends and family, you get charged a fee. So remember that if you own a business account, the only way to avoid those fees through friends and family is if you have a PayPal personal account. All right. So watch out for those fees. Either add the fees on or, just as long as you're aware of them. Any transaction now is considered a commercial transaction, and that's why you're getting hit with those fees on PayPal. I have Afterpay. I have Affirm. I have a lot of different payment methods. I have PayPal, Pay Later, and the more payment options that you have for your customers, then the more likely those customers are going to spend some money with you, because sometimes money gets tight during the Christmas period. And while we're speaking about payment methods too, chargebacks, that ugly word, chargebacks, okay? You can't, there's no set rule for avoiding chargebacks. The best way to avoid them is get to know your customer. If you get to know your customer, usually it's a little bit harder for them to do a chargeback. If there's a dispute, if there's an issue, my advice to you would be deal with it. And we all have, we've all got stories of that customer that was like, made you want to give up Reborns. I had a customer about 2 years ago who purchased a kit from me. It was a custom order. I did the custom order for her, collected a deposit. She paid off the doll in full, asked me not to ship the doll because it was a Christmas gift for her daughter. I hung on to that doll for about 2 or 3 months. And I was getting ready to ship the doll, and she messaged me and told me that she didn't want the doll anymore because she'd already spent too much money for her daughter. Now, technically, she's going to lose that deposit because, I definitely make it clear that it's a non-refundable deposit. At one point, she was willing to take the doll and try and sell it, but I just thought, I don't want my name bashed out there, so I just refunded her. The doll was still with me. I gave her a full refund, and I was done with her. And she is now on my list of never sell to again. It's just not, it's really not worth it. It's really not. So make sure you keep that communication. Another thing that you might want to consider doing is get their phone number. Ask their phone number. I don't want to be sneaky here, but if somebody's uncomfortable giving a phone number, tell them it's in case there's any shipping issues that you're able to communicate with them immediately. So if you've got their phone number and everything, sometimes people are a little bit less likely to do a chargeback if you have a relationship with them. And just think of the cost to you, because any chargeback that is done, whether you win the chargeback or not, you're still going to pay a fee. So you don't get that fee back. That fee is gone. So communication is always the key in those situations. If your customer's unwilling to negotiate or discuss things with you and the chargeback happens, make sure that you have documentation. When you're discussing with any person, remember this is a business, okay? If you're taking money for goods, this is a business. Consider that every single every single purchase made from you could end up being a chargeback. So make notes. Send that customer pictures. Ask that customer in the comments, are they okay with their doll? Do they approve of the doll? I do that all the time. When I send my final pictures, I ask my customers, is everything okay? Do you like her? Because then you have it documented that they like the doll.
Right.
Keep that communication simple. Don't get friendly and chit-chatty, because if you ever have to send that communication to a bank, you don't want to be talking about Susan's brother or sister and your dead dog and everything. Just keep it strictly business, okay?
Yeah, really good points. Really good points. You know, and then there's also the sales platforms, the different areas where you can post your items for sale. You know, a lot of people say they don't know where to go to buy Reborns, and there's really good places out there, like Only Reborns is a good place to post your dolls for sale. Reborns.com is a good, safe place to post them. Facebook has really good groups. Make sure you're looking at the groups. Like before you join a group, look and make sure the group has authenticated dolls in it. You know, you can tell the fake dolls from the authenticated dolls pretty easily anymore. Join those groups, and then make sure those groups are selling groups, because some are not. Some are just posting groups. And, you know, post your dolls for sale in there as well. And then, you know, another thing is get to know your buyer. As you have to make sure you get to know your buyer. So get to know your buyer and get to know good groups and good areas to sell. Do some research.
Yeah, yeah. And you know what? It's okay to stalk your buyer. I think we've all done that, where we've checked to see, you know, because we want to see, is this a reputable buyer? And you can put their name into some of the scammer groups just to see whether, you know, they've paid up or whether there's been any issues with them. And then remember, when you're posting, oh my God, can I say this without cringing? Do not create a sales post with no price on it. Oh my Lord. I see this every single day on Facebook, listing my doll for sale. Or they're like, I don't know why my doll's not selling. I do. There's no price on it.
Put a price tag on that baby.
Come on, people. You know, put yourself like, how many times have you gone to a store and saw something that you just absolutely love and there's no price on it? There's nobody around to ask the price. What do? You don't take it up to the register and hope it's within your budget. You walk away from it. And that is exactly the same thing that happens when you post without a price. Post. Yeah. And then what's the other one that you had to?
Post the price, and then also make sure that you are putting your watermark on all your photos, even though it doesn't stop somebody from stealing your photos completely. But it does kind of slow it down a little bit. I truly believe in that. Make sure that you are owning those photos. Make sure you're the owner. Yeah. And also when you go ahead.
Yeah, you know, your little people that, you know, are not a big scammer organization, they will take your pictures. But if they don't know how to remove those watermarks, they're going to go and pick another picture that has no watermarks on it. So like Jenny says, it's not a 100% guarantee, but it might slow someone down.
Yeah, definitely slow someone down. And then also when you're posting on different platforms, please, this is my cringe. When I read someone's post and it says, no time wasters, I'm like, well, I have to just keep scrolling, you know? So,
it cracks me up too. It's as though time wasters are like, oh, she's talking about me. I better not.
Yeah. They don't notice.
It's crazy.
They don't notice because they don't even know they're a time waster.
Exactly.
Let's be honest. The time wasters have no clue they're time wasters.
Yeah. No scammers, no time wasters. Oh, she's talking about me. Oops.
Don't put that on there. Just know that if someone, and I understand the frustrations. I do get it. Yeah. But if someone's asking you for more photos, that just goes to tell you that you should probably have taken more photos. Or if someone asks you about your price, that means that your price isn't listed. So those are valid questions.
Absolutely. And we did a whole episode on this about there's no such thing as a time waster, because in my book there really isn't. A time waster is telling you what you've missed out. So if people are asking for pictures of the feet and the hands and you haven't taken them, that's not a time waster. That's you not doing your job properly. So make sure, honestly, I mean, Jenny and I, we take hundreds of pictures. We post maybe 5 or 6 pictures. But no, if somebody messages me and says, hey, do you have a picture, a close-up of the hairline or close up of the feet? Yeah, got it here. I don't have to go and reset the doll up and reset the photography area back up. I've got that picture on hand. Another thing too, talking about time wasters, is A doll is not sold. A doll is not sold until the money is in your hand. And I've learned this the hard way myself, where somebody said, I love your doll. I really want to buy it. And I've gone around putting adopted. I've taken the post down here. And then the person's disappeared. And, you know, I've had a few choice words, but whose problem was that? That was mine, you know, for jumping the gun. So, and I also tell people too, if I have a doll listed for sale and somebody says, I'm really interested in your doll, I'll always tell them she's available currently, but she's still listed for sale. And don't chase after people. Don't chase after them. If they want to buy that doll, they are going to buy that doll straight away. None of this, I'll get back to you this afternoon, or I'll get back to you tomorrow.
Yeah, I had that happen recently. I had a doll somebody purchased a doll for me off of Reborns.com, and it was fantastic. I suddenly saw this money hit my account, and I was like, where did this come from? I forgot that I even had a doll. I forgot I had a doll listed. And, you know, and then a couple days later, someone reached out to me and said, hey, did you sell this particular doll? And I said, yes. And they were like, oh, I really wanted to buy it. Well, the doll had been listed for a while, so I didn't even feel bad. You can't wait.
No.
You can't
Do you know what happened to me one time? So I had this lady reach out to me, and a lot of people pay me through Venmo and Cash App and all that kind of stuff. And I feel really blessed that they trust me enough. But there was this one lady who didn't want to pay me that way. She wanted to pay me through PayPal. And I was going to do her an invoice, and she said, can you put the doll on Reborns? And I said, okay. So I listed the doll on Reborns, and within about 20 minutes, boom, popped up the sale. And I got the address and everything. And then next minute I get a message, and this lady's like, did you put the doll on Reborns? And I said, yeah, you just purchased it. And somebody else had purchased the doll. Someone jumped in the short time I had the doll listed and purchased it. So, but you know what? I had to tell the lady, I'm sorry, you know.
You made me
told
put it on Reborns.
Yeah, you like... I mean, I felt kind of flattered that somebody jumped in and bought the doll. But yeah, so that doll is still available until the cash is in the hand, right?
Yep. Always. Till you have the moolah, baby's still available.
Exactly.
And then we have shipping. So, you know, when you go to ship, make sure that when you're listing your sales ad and you talk about shipping, say you say shipping free in the U.S., but then say shipping, you know, out of the U.S. is this particular price. Don't mention price of tariffs, because right now tariffs are kind of all over the place. Yes, they're going to have tariffs. Make sure you list in your shipping price tariffs or fees will be buyer's responsibility.
Yes.
But don't give a specific amount, because you don't know what that amount's going to be. It could be different from every country, every different part of each country. So like different areas of the UK are different tariffs, different areas of, you know, Canada, depending on what part of customs it's going through. So don't hook yourself with a specific price and get yourself pulled in on, you know, the buyer going, well, you said it was going to be this price and it ended up being, you know, a different price. So just make sure you tell the buyer, hey, there may be custom fees now, there may be tariffs, and you're responsible for it. Make sure you list that if you're going to ship international.
Now, and I've made a point of never telling, because there's taxes as well, and we don't know what the taxes. Sometimes, you know, you go to the UK, it's VAT. We don't know what those are in this country, and even if you Google it and try and figure out the percentage, and I've done this before, just to kind of see how close I was, and you just can't do it. So don't put yourself in that position. And you know, I don't sell a lot of dolls overseas now, because I usually try and scare the buyer off by telling them, I don't know how much your fees are going to be. There's taxes, there may be import tax duty, there might be duty on it. I mean, there's a lot of fees that we're not aware of, and especially now with things that are going on in the US too. So, and I just actually, a girl I follow on TikTok just had a doll sent back to her. I think it came from she shipped it to the US. It was sent back to England because the person in the US refused to pick the doll up because of the tariffs. So just be careful. You don't want to get into that situation. Make your customer aware that they are going to be subjected. And usually most of them either don't know that they're going to have to pay taxes or fees, or they're just completely off when it comes to how much. I actually had a doll that went to Ireland, and by the time the poor girl had paid all the duty and taxes and everything on it, it ended up costing her $500, which is crazy.
That's
crazy,
nuts. I
crazy
just got
amount.
my first bill from UPS.
Oh, you did?
I did. I got a tariff bill from UPS, and actually it was on a blank silicone that I had ordered that came here from the Netherlands. And I kept checking when, UPS, I'm signed up on their thing, so I get told all the time, hey, you got a package or whatever. And I kept waiting for it because usually it'll just send me the bill through the website, right?
Or they don't deliver it until you pay it. I'm surprised.
No, they delivered that baby, and then all of a sudden, and I've had the baby for over 2 months, and I just got a bill in the mail yesterday for $31 for that baby, and it had the information of the person that mailed it to me. It had the description of what was mailed to me, so it's not a scam. It was real. At first I was like, is this a scam? Is this really from UPS? But it was really from UPS, so I paid it.
Yeah.
So,
oh gosh,
$31.
Crazy. Yeah. And the other thing to remember too, now that we're getting into the Christmas season, those shipping time frames are going to be a little bit longer. Shipping is also going to be a little bit more expensive. So make sure, to prevent those chargebacks and, disputes with the customer, make sure that customer is aware that the shipping time frames are changed a little bit. I always when I ship out anything, like if I ship out clothing, I always keep an eye on it and make sure that there's no delays. If I see something, I had a doll I shipped recently that was delayed in shipping, and I reached out to the customer saying, hey, I know it was supposed to be there Saturday. I'm seeing a delay here. They're talking about Monday. And then they ended up pushing it back to Tuesday. But I was communicating with that customer constantly because you want your customer to feel safe. You want them to know that you're on the ball and you know what you're doing. So
yeah, that's a good point. That brings up a really quick story I'm going to tell you. I made a doll, and it was shipping in the U.S., and I shipped the doll, and the mom named the doll Willow, so we'll just call the doll Willow. And beautiful Willow went out, and we noticed the doll was not moving. She was just stagnant. I was following the tracking, and I got a hold, after like a week, I reached out to my post office, and they were like, well, no, it's not here. And I was like, listen, it's still saying that it's in Kern County. And they were like, well, no, we can't find it. Let me tell you, I went down to my local post office, and I said, you need to search the back. Something's wrong. This doll is still saying it's here. The customer thinks that now I'm lying, that I didn't ship it because it's still saying Kern County. Right. And sure enough, they found it shoved in a corner in the back, just kind of shoved to the side. And he walked out with the box and apologized to me and said, when they offloaded it off the truck, when it got here, it just kind of got shuffled. And then they shipped it overnight to my customer. And it was crazy is they actually called my customer. The post office master here in Kern County called my customer and apologized to my customer because I was... Think about that. Think about me down there freaking out, that this person thinks I've stole their money. But they called the customer, and then she called me the day the baby was delivered. She called me and said it was crazy that her postmaster showed up to her door with the box himself.
Oh, gosh.
Her lead postmaster for her area, and apologized to her in person and handed her the box. So,
another reason to get those phone numbers.
Huge.
Yeah, absolutely. Huge. Another reason to get those phone numbers. And the other thing, too, is running around about the Christmas period, because there's so many boxes being shipped. I saw so many posts on Facebook where boxes were destroyed. As a matter of fact, I even remember the post office posting in one of our groups saying, does anyone recognize this doll? So what I do now, whenever I pack a doll up, obviously it's got the bubble wrap and the blanket and all that lot. I put everything inside a plastic bag, and inside that plastic bag, or on the top of the plastic bag, I put another shipping label. Then I put everything in the box and put another shipping label, obviously on the outside. But if that box is destroyed, everything is still inside a bag, and there's another shipping label with my information on it and the buyer's information on it too. So it can
really smart.
Either come back to me or reach its final destination.
Really, really smart. Yeah, that's. I never thought about that until you mentioned that to me the other day, and I was like, man, I am slacking on my shipping.
Well, it was all these posts I kept seeing where boxes were destroyed and they couldn't read the label. So I was thinking, I'm going to put a label on my bag just in case. And the other thing, too, is if you're shipping overseas as well, and we talked about that, I think Bobbi talked about this in her Safe Traveling with Reborns, that you want to put some of the components that are inside the doll inside the box as well, because that way it's going to stop customs from, hopefully stop customs from ripping up, the doll. So you want to put a little bit of glass beads, a little bit of stuffing, whatever you've got inside that doll inside the box with a name on it saying that this is the contents of the doll.
I actually put, now that you brought that up, and I didn't even think about this until you just said that, I actually put a letter inside my box, and it has a big stop sign on it, and it says custom stop. And then below it, it describes this as an art doll, and then it states all the materials the art doll is made with, and then I staple little baggies of what's in the doll to that piece of paper.
Good.
And it just sits in, especially if I'm shipping overseas. I don't ship a lot overseas, so it doesn't take much time. It takes an extra 15, 20 minutes to put that together, but I definitely put that with my dolls, and I've shipped, I think, 7 dolls overseas now, and they've all arrived there safe, thank goodness, knock on wood. You know, no problems. So.
I used to get a lot of overseas people, but now most of my people are local. So, but that's smart thinking. Actually, that's really good. Good for you.
I use the same thing when I travel through airports. It says TSA stop. It just says TSA on it. This is a Reborn, and then I do the same thing. I add little baggies, and I put that in my suitcase because I travel to different doll shows, and I take the dolls with me on the plane. I don't ship them. Because I know, you know, they're scanning that doll and they're probably thinking, what is in that bag?
And then the last thing, too, is you don't have to sell your doll to somebody that you're feeling a little bit like you got that gut feeling that you're, maybe this isn't the right person. They've messed you around a little bit. Let me tell you, I have turned away a lot of people. I actually turned away one girl who went all over Facebook posting that I had turned her down for a doll. But it's my prerogative. If I don't want to sell you a doll, I've started custom orders for people and realized that we're not a good match, and I've refunded them their deposit because I have never had a doll returned. I've never had a chargeback. I've never had anything like that happen. I'm really on it when it comes to customer service. I really want my customers to be happy. It's the most important thing to me. But if I feel that there's something just a little bit off, I will tell them straight. I just don't feel I'm the artist for you. I can recommend another artist in that price range for you, or somebody that I know that's, you know, a really good artist, and then I'll dump the customer off on someone else. That's not what I meant to say, but it sounded like it, didn't it? But if you have that gut feeling, just don't do it. Just don't do it. It's not worth it because if you think of what could happen, there's nightmare stories out there of people that have sold their doll. Somebody's claimed a charge back or a dispute. They've won the dispute. They've ended up with the doll. The seller's out the money, and then this person is listing the doll for sale. Yeah. You know, there's nightmares out there. If it feels off, just walk away.
You know, what's funny is anybody that buys a doll from me or reaches out to me to buy a doll, I add them as a friend on my Facebook immediately.
That's a good one, actually.
I do. I add them before we do a full transaction. I'll add them as a friend on Facebook. I kind of go check them out. Sorry, I'm stalking you. And,
I do. I stalk them too. I check
them out. Yeah, and then I kind of search their names up in a few different platforms and make sure there's no issues with them. And then I start really communicating with them and getting things rolling that way. But I feel like when I sell my dolls, I'm selling a piece of me, and I need to make sure they're going to someplace safe. Yeah. So, you know. Yeah,
the majority of my sales are done through Facebook. I do have some sales through Reborns. Like if I have, usually when I'm working on a doll, I'll post a picture of it, and it usually sells before I start rooting. But I have had a couple of dolls that I have sold through Reborns, and I get to know that person on Reborns too. I don't like it if somebody sees a doll, buys it, and there's no communication. That always makes me nervous because these are pieces of art, and like we were mentioning the last time, we put a lot of ourselves into these dolls. But watch out for those red flags. Yeah, and that's your safe selling and buying for the Christmas season. Woohoo! Everybody have fun this Christmas. That's right. Get those dolls posted, get them sold safely. Yep. And have a wonderful Christmas. Yeah. All right, Janie. That's a good show. Okay. It was a good show, wasn't it? I think it was really good. It was really, really good show. Very informative. Yeah, it was great, and I'm super excited for our next episode. Who's coming on? Yes, Bonnie Brown is going to be on our next show. So excited. She's very nervous about being on camera, but that's okay. We'll make her feel comfortable, won't we?
Yeah, she'll be great. She'll be great. I'm
scare her.
so excited to hear her little accent. So
I am too. She's a sweetheart. So much talent. So much talent in one person.
Oh,
all right. Speaking about talent,
let's see if we can get it this time. Okay. Listen, Linda. Listen, I think I figured it out. So let's see if we get it.
Okay. Oh, we do need to mention about subscribing.
Hit that subscribe. That way you get notified that we're getting ready to come on. Hit it.
Yeah.
It don't cost you nothing.
Yeah, hit the alert and don't forget to join us for the premiere. We have so much fun on that premiere.
Get on it.
You have to. Like, if you hit that alert, it's going to let you know when the premiere is coming up. The show is released on the 15th and the 1st, or 1st and 15th of each month. But the live chat we live for the live chat. It's fun.
Listen, we're all in there fighting over crowns. Let's see if John ever wins.
All right, sister, you ready?
I'm ready.
Reborn Rap.
That's a wrap. Oh, I missed it. I know I missed it.
You missed it by a long shot on my side. It's so weird. I don't understand this because we can talk to each other and there's no delay. And the delay happens as soon as we hit this clicker. What is up with that, Riverside? All right, Janie. So you're going to be working on more things things for your doll show. I'm going to be working on dolls. We are going to be seeing you guys on our next episode with Bonnie Brown. Thanks for watching. Be safe.
Bye.